odd one, okay? Basically, I'm gonna do an interview with myself. Um, I'm an oddball. I guess I'm trying to describe it using my handle I put on Twitter, I guess, an oddball gamer, just wandering through life. Um, yeah. So, I've been interested in doing a bunch of online projects. I'm not a billion% sure why, but it just seemed like an enjoyable thing to do, so I threw my hat into the ring. Well, tonight, for whatever reason, the mood struck me to ask myself some questions, I guess. So, I'm going to do an interview with myself. So, I found a list of questions, 33 questions for an interview with yourself, and I'm going to ask myself some questions. Going to try to keep them about, say, a minute or so, which reminds me, I kind of want this iPad up to act as like a timer. And, let's get going, I guess. So, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm kind of an odd job kind of guy. And I say that because, like, I've had many different jobs. I worked as a fry cook in a restaurant for a couple of years, realized I didn't want to do that anymore. I worked in retail, dollar stores. I worked at grocery stores. I worked as a bartender for a bit between that. I did a lot of little things. I guess since I'm one of those ADHD kids there, I kind of changed my mind, and whatever's new and shiny is the thing I like to pursue for a while. And I guess recently it's been streaming. Just saying, it's been pretty fun. Liked it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I do a lot of things, but it's not just work. I guess what I do for a living, I'm just trying to figure out my own path, I guess, if that makes any sense. It doesn't necessarily have to be work related. I'm just a human trying to figure out my existence eventually, just going through life. Who do you love? I love a handful of people. Most importantly is my babushka. Yeah, we've been together for about 7.5 years now, and we met as coworkers. And then eventually I asked the shy girl out on a date, and we went on a nice date. It was so awkward. Apparently I had too much mouthwash in my mouth. And I wasn't expecting a kiss or nothing. Just hope my breath don't stink kind of thing. And she said I just reeked of it. Like I drank a bottle or it fell on my shirt. Awkward. Um, we went on a bunch of dates, long distance for a pinch when she was off to school. And I remember when we had our first kiss, I did a freaking cartwheel. We were standing by a bus stop. It was cute. About 6 months ago now, I actually asked her to marry me. So found all our people together, and yeah, we're gonna have a nice good time with that. So love you, Bushka. Hmm. Do you have enough money? Yeah, I think I'm well off a bit. Like I get by. Although I do have a million harebrained ideas I'd like to see come to fruition, and I don't know, one of my end game goals I think for if this does work out for being a streamer is I'd like to try to give back a bit of money towards the world, I guess. Like, I was a bit of a poor person, just to say. Um, yeah, and yeah, my buddy's commenting there. I was a bit of a poor person there, so our family got a few handouts back in the day, and I guess my goal is to try to put back into the world a little bit more than I've actually taken. That would be my end game goal, I guess. Like I kind of really respect people like Mr. Beast there. He does this crazy stuff, gives back. I want to try to do some philanthropy type stuff. I think there's a lot of unhappy moments in the world. Try to fix up a bit of them we can. So I have enough money to get by, but a bit more to get some crazy ideas. That'd be cool. Are you healthy? Yeah, I generally think I'm healthy. I mean, growing up, I always had my bicycle and my shoelace express. I walk everywhere rather than take vehicles when I can. It might take an hour to go to the grocery store and back, but it's healthy for the legs, I think. I do kind of worry, though, that someday I might be a little too weak to do it. I'm getting a little older, which is a couple questions down there. Just, carrying like 50 pounds of groceries would be a little bit hard. Anyway. Do you think you're a good person? For the most part, yes. I think I think it's a weird question because like I remember when I was like let's say 15 or younger, right? I had a moral compass of Judge Dredd, and I don't say that in a horrible way. I just mean like, I know it was definitely what I considered wrong, drugs are bad and all this stuff, right? And I tried to be as good as possible. A slight downside is a lot of people I know, a lot of people I love, for instance, they have some grayer areas, we'll say. So I kind of can't fully hate on the people I love. You know what I mean? So I guess I think I have a pretty good compass. Like I like I don't want to cause no hurt in the world. I want to see people thrive. I want to see happy. I don't think you should destruct people or hurt. I think you should superstruct and build and make beautiful art, not destroy. So I think that's a good chunk of being a good person. Just you want better outcomes for the world, you know? I don't want anybody to. I don't wish unhappiness on anybody. I think, like, I hope the best for people. So I think that's somehow a bit of a compass. I have seen a lot of painful things in my life, though, I'll tell you. A lot of gray stuff, a lot of messed up stuff. It can go really bad, and I can go on for days, but I'd rather not, I guess. Maybe I'm covering it up, maybe cover up or just trying to bury the bad moments, maybe. But I think I'm generally a good person. How old are you? Rather not say 91. But it doesn't say in the question here exactly how old you actually are. How old do you think you are? Well, that's kind of a trick question. I think that a human ages based off of experiences and what you put your body through. Like if you're a chain smoker at 25, I'm sure your body's like 35 years old at that rate, you know? If you fly down a flight of stairs a couple of times, I'm sure that's going to put some dents off your life, eh? I think, getting into a car accident like I did when I was younger, that probably is going to knock about 5 off, you know? So, physically, I think I feel like I'm 35, I'd say. Mentally is different, though. I don't know. I've always wanted to have conversations with the older people, the teachers, and I respect the kids too. I know I host a club just to say for kids for Pokemon League and stuff like that, and stream nights and such. Um, I guess my idea is when I look at somebody, I see like an older person. Let's say they're like 80 years old, right? I'd hope to see a picture of them when they were about 25 or so, because then I can kind of gauge what kind of person they might have been like when we were roughly the same, if that makes sense. I could see if they were one of the jocks, the prep kids, the nerdy people, the shy. I can kind of, it helps me kind of connect with the older crowd. As for the younger crowd, well, we'll say it, kids are kind of dumb. I mean, the first 15 years of our life, we're just on autopilot, going to school, eating, doing what mom and dad says, that kind of stuff. That being said, whenever I see that young person do a thing, I see a bit of myself in them. Like, oh, I remember when I did stuff like that. And I remember how I made mistakes or learning experiences. And I'll try to pass on some information, I guess. It just seems what humanity does. We just kind of tell stories to each other, right? We just pass down information for thousands of years. And in the last 300 years, we've been writing stuff down a little bit more accurately and it got a little bit better. So, I don't know. I think I have the mental age of someone about 5 years younger than myself to 10 years older. Depends on if I have to be really strict and severe and have to like think logically and in depth, like gotta make sure the money lasts the month kind of thing. Well, then I gotta think like an adult. But I think I can have a big age bracket of what I feel like I am for an age. It's an odd question. Next question. Who is your best friend? Well, I have several best friends. Um, don't think I should really name drop anybody in the video because, doxing and sensitive information and such. But I've had several friends, and back in the day, they used to have a thing called My Five, which was like an advertisement where you could have 5 phone numbers to call 5 people unlimited. Anyway, basically, I think I have like a top 5 and a top 10 of my people. My top 5 has changed over the years. I've lost a good handful of people that I cared about, but I have 2 friends, one of which I known from high school. Good friend, he's been really kind to me. Another friend who's an amazing storyteller, entertaining as can be. You'd want to play a game of Pathfinder with him. I have people that I love dearly, like my babushka. I've had family members who were in my top 5, I guess, like say my mom, my nephew. I've had a lot of people I consider my top friends. And like I said, in the top 10, for instance, I didn't want to ever pick or like who's the highest. No, I don't want to do that. That's not right. If you have to, there's 2 dangling ropes. You can only save one. That I don't even want to contemplate that. I'd lay my life down for any of my top 5, I guess, or risk it, or whatever be it. I love those people. So my friends are in there. A lot of my people are. I got like probably more. Like I have like 200 friends on Facebook, and 100 of those people I'd love to visit on a daily. It's odd, but I have a lot of friends. I guess a lot of top friends, best friends. It's weird. Next question. What was your childhood dream? At one point, I wanted to be a police officer. I wanted to rush into an emergency, almost like a knight in shining armor, and just help save the day. Maybe there's a bad person. Maybe there's some type of drama that needs to actually not really go up involving police officers and guns, but like just go down, like try to save and fix a moment. My mom though, she told me, "Now you're gonna get shot in the face." So yeah, that was a bit of a dream crusher, a pinch. Um, my next goals, I guess, were to um, I had other things like be a vet, this, that. I changed 100 times since there, but a police officer was like one of my original goals. It says here, do you still remember? Do you want to do other things as like your childhood dream? Well, I wanted to take care of my people, I guess, first. I dreamed of having this giant Home Alone Dennis the Menace. No, that's not the right one. But Home Alone style house with like 15 kids running around, 2 parents. Just a nice big home where everybody could be stable and always have a final base bed space to fall back onto. Like so. Yes, go live your hell life, get out if you want, but I always wanted to basically like a safe haven, a home base, a fort is what we called it back in the day. A nice place to stay safe. The fort. Boire le port. Boire le fort. Close the door, lock the door. How often do you laugh? Eeh, not enough, I think. Because I was exposed to a lot of internet humor. Bad humor, too. So, the audacity and how crazy and how humorous something is, it's been put pretty high and pretty extreme in some cases. I like it, but at the same time, a simpler joke doesn't make me laugh as much as I should. I wish it could. I kind of wish I could go back and erase a little bit of that to just make it so I can enjoy the simpler pleasures, I guess. But yeah, I laugh at a lot of things, except fart jokes. Never was a fan of fart jokes. What makes you smile? It says list at least 10 items. If you can't find 10, okay. What makes me smile? Um, Seeing my people happy. I think that's priority one. I love seeing people in love. I know that sounds corny, but I get all giddy like a schoolgirl when I see, particularly more younger couples, just their first new experiences in love. It's like, oh my god, that's so adorable. I remember when I was cute like that. Oh, it's adorable. Not to say that again, maybe my third thing, babushka. I know I love my wife. She makes me smile. My waifu. Other things that make me smile. Besides good times, or good. I guess good times would be like I love I love the idea that you should get as many good times in your life. So it could be a nice barbecue and friends having a beer or something like that, just chilling. Mmm, tasty. Uh, Going somewhere, seeing something new, something that I guess just sparks a little bit of interest in my head. Let's get going. Who is your most dangerous enemy? And it says like you can list a name or a thing. Um, it's odd. Like I've had a bully or two in school. You know, we all had bullies. Um, they weren't so much of a problem, especially when I got into a weird altercation. Anyway, don't want to get into that. I don't really have enemies per se, but I guess I do fear the potential threat, you know, not of like, oh, the communism or this or that. No, no, I guess hmm, I fear humanity a pinch, but I also don't. There's this website I used to go to, and they had like a random number generator thing where you could roll to see your results or whatever, just like a fortune or whatever be it. And in that theory, I guess I come to it that there's people who are 99% angelic and good as can be people. Like I met a nurse once, who's a person I went to school with, absolute saint of a human being. And we all know that there's evil people like Hitler, you know? Point being is, I imagine that there's those people who are like 99% good and 1% evil for the sake of it, and then there's the people who are like 99% evil and then 1%, you know. I imagine humanity's like a gray spectrum. It's kind of weird. But point being is, I guess I'm all about not having as many horrible times in the world. Like I've seen a lot myself, and I just don't want trouble coming my way per se. I guess I worry that occasionally something like that might happen. I hope it doesn't. That's all I can say. So my most dangerous enemy, I guess, is an unknown person, someone I can't reason with, someone, and I guess you just gotta deal with it and take it on the chin. But rather not. Where do you live? I live in Canada. I'm happy I live in Canada. I feel like I'm lucky to live in Canada. Um, I have some weird things like I wonder, will Canada be Canada in 500 years kind of thing? Like the Roman Empire expanded. I mean, it took over a lot. That's not good, but like, will it all still be all the provinces and all that together? I love Canada in the current 2021 century I live in. There's so many trees up here. The population is not nearly as big as America that has like 10 times the population. Like I can't fathom that if I had a property or a home or whatever, there could be 10 more people in this room. That sounds unreal. And in some places there might be a lot more people than that. Like that sounds absolutely crazy. I'm just saying I kind of like it where we got a plenty of space and it doesn't feel too crowded. I'm all for welcoming people, humans, our brothers and sisters of the world to, come on in. Um, I wonder if like what we have like a population of 7 billion people. If you were to divide that absolutely equally on landmass, what would everybody get? A couple miles, quarters, whatever be it. I don't know. Point being is I like Canada. We have a lot of beautiful lakes, beautiful trees. We seem decent enough. We're similar to the Americans, kinda, just because like, I mean, we watch and eat the same television. Yes, we eat the television, but I don't know. Things just feel a little bit calmer and gentler, I guess, maybe here, and we don't have as many guns and such, and I don't think we really need that. So I'm happy I live in Canada. I feel like this is a beautiful country, and I'd protect it if I needed to, but I don't think I'd go out looking for trouble. But that's just, I guess, something I said to myself a long time ago on Remembrance Day. Do you think you're strong? And it says strong doesn't necessarily mean to mean force, endurance, speed, or intelligence and such. It could be a little bit of everything. I'd say mental will would also go in there. Do you think you're strong? Yes, I kind of do, but at the same time, I know I have some cracks in the armor. For instance, a lot of troubling things happened when I was younger, and I feel strong and battle thickened armor, whatever, battle ready, battle tested. having gone through a bunch of these experiences. Now, when someone comes up to me with a problem that isn't as high caliber as the things I experienced, well, I'm like, don't worry, that's just a little thing. But the problem is, though, is I fail to see something. Let's use levels for the sake of it. If they come up with what to me looks like a level 1 problem from my level 10, okay, that's nothing. Simple fix, you know? But to them, that problem might be more than that. It might be a 10 out of 10 for them, you know? And I fail to grasp that sometimes. But I think, like, mentally, I'm decently strong. I think I could battle with the best of them. I think I'm battle hardened. I think I've been through quite a bit. I think that I look at the guns, hun. Physically strong. You know, I feel like I have some strength to me. I'm not crazy max strength built character strong. I can't lift a car, but I feel like I don't know. If I needed to, I could tackle through a wall or try to save the day a pinch. I don't think I'm perfect, but I think I have some decent strength, both mentally and physically. My only problem though is the physically. It depends on how active an exercise you get slightly. If I feel like I'm really at the top of my top, great. Like I used to be in martial arts. I felt like I was indestructible. I feel like I could T-pose through a wall and beat the day, just win anything. And I felt quicker and faster, so I say get into martial arts. But I haven't been in there in a long time now. I just feel kind of old and decrepit, but I still feel strong a bit. Mentally, like I said, I've been through some stuff. I feel tough in that department. Emotionally, not sure, because that one's a weird one. How do you really test that? I can't really describe it. I think I'm strong, for the most part. I think I'm stronger than a few people, but I think it's just based off of the experiences that make me. What's the most important thing you've done so far? God, what a big one is that? Like, I don't know. Didn't cure cancer or anything. What is the most important thing I've done so far? You know, I think I'll take like an odd curvature approach on this and say I tried to be myself. I tried to do things my way, a different route than what was normal. Just a pinch. I don't think that's even accurate. I just think it's somewhat important to me that I try to do my thing, I guess. It's hard to describe what a thing is, or am I a thing, but, you know, hard to say. What is the most stupidest thing you've done so far? Um, a lot of drama happened in high school. I dropped out of high school. Never did get my grade 12. I don't think it was stupid of me per se, because 100%. Because there was a lot going on. It was complicated. But I feel like life would be a little bit nicer if I at least had that benchmark. I don't think it's fully necessary. I think a person can go through life without it. This and that. Maybe I'll get it someday. I always said, and then I quit caring after, 5 years of saying that, I guess. Um, Stupidest thing I've done so far. Yeah, I guess I'd say that, and maybe lashing out once or twice in situations like, um, I don't know. It's weird. Rather, let's keep going there. I mean, I could dive into something, but I'd rather not, to be honest. Do you love yourself? Yes, I think I'm goddamn amazing some days, but I also feel like I have a lot of flaws that make me kind of like, oh, that's not good. Um, but for the most part, I'm happy with who I am. I'm an oddball creature. Like I have this whole thing about my birth thing because in a nutshell, my mom was born a blue baby, which her parents' blood types didn't match, so she had blood transfusions. There's like 50 of those in there, and then uh, eventually she was fixed because of an issue with her previous kids and this and this and that, and somehow I was stillborn. So I have like a tiny pinch of a god complex. I think I'm odd. I'm an ADHD kid. I think I have a really good body. I have nice, super long limbs. I'm quick. I am a good thinker. I love the make and model of what I am. So I do believe I love myself. I think it's a little bit odd. I feel like I'm a prototype sometimes, or a little bit of change of humanity, just a pinch. Maybe I'm a little bit different. But we're all just a million different prototypes, and some will be a little better than others. But I think that's good. I think I love myself a bit. I think I also have some flaws, like we all do. but I love myself for the most part. Yeah. What do you fear the most? Honestly, I guess it's when death. Death is a big one. I actually had a bit of a breakdown when I was like 15, 14, 13. What I can't remember days. No, it was 14, 16. About 16 to 18, we'll say. I had that where I was questioning a bunch of things, a bit of existential dread, a bit of religion. You know how it is. We all ask ourselves the questions when we finally get out of that demo phase of being a kid. Um, those questions messed with me. I wasn't sure how things could exist, this and this and that. It messed with me. Then, after a year of kind of being a little bit lost in that, I kind of stopped caring, I guess, as much. There was no point to care. But I guess the one thing I fear is getting into that rut again. I fear the ultimate goodbye of people. And I guess what I would fear the most is when everybody has to say goodbye. Because if there was not truly a person left around you that you fully cared about, would it be worth it living yourself, you know? Some would say maybe, one last look at the world or whatever be it, but I don't know. The final goodbye of people. What is your favorite word? Now, that one's kind of an odd one. Um, a beloved family member of mine used to say gamer all the time, and I enjoyed that, and I miss hearing that. One that's a little bit different is the game. It was just a simple little tag, mental mind tag meme out of 2008 that was really big in high school, and I had it engraved on a belt buckle and a Zippo lighter, and I just liked the phrase, the game. But I don't think I have a word. For the sake of the one friend in the chat, I'll say Baba Booey. That's a good one. But it's like, what's your favorite color? Like, sure, you could pick a color, but we're not 10 anymore. Colors shouldn't really matter. There's a lot of things. So I guess, what's your favorite word? I'm gonna say my favorite phrase is the game. Okay. Okay. No, nice heavy one there. When's the last time you cried? January 24th, 2021. As of now, it is the 21st year, March 11th. So, bad, awkward calendar. Yeah, I cried. Everybody does cry. Men do cry too. And when I was younger, I guess, I had some battle-hardened moments, we'll say. So a little bit of pain and um, stuff like that has made it so that I don't cry over simpler things. Like I said, the level, like back earlier, my 1 out of 10 pain is somebody else's 10 out of 10 kind of pain. Well, things that would make normal people cry, I think, don't do nearly as much damage. But I guess, again, with the previous question of what do you fear the most, I guess it's when people have to say goodbye. Yeesh. Almost on the tears right there. Alright. What's the best thing that could happen to you right now? Elon Musk drives up in his space Tesla, says, Joel, we're going to make a bunch of those crazy ideas of yours happen. We're just going to go and just throw money at the things so that, like, my friend could build a forest, because that's their life goal. That everybody around me can get $1,000 and have a happy day about it. That the people who I know who are struggling can get fixed up. I guess if I could somehow get $1 billion, and when I was younger, I used to say, like, look, if you had $1 million, right? Okay, you get yourself a $250,000 car, damn, a Ferrari, $500,000 house, and $250,000 to live off of. Like, that could just set, right? Makes sense, right? Apparently, it's not that easy nowadays, especially as an adult. I mean, it was a good idea as a 12-year-old, but it doesn't quite fly when you're an adult. But I think it could help. I don't know. So, I guess I'd like to see some grandiose things be built, and I don't know. That's, I guess, my goal. I like my whole end game, I hope, from like streaming and such is I hope I can put back more into the world than I've taken, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, take a sip. Hydration check, boys. What's the worst thing that could happen to you right now? My beloved home city here gets nuked, and everybody and everything I ever cared about gone. I mean, yeah. What about me? I don't know. From my perspective, I guess yeah, just losing the people you love the most. That would be the thing that would be the worst thing that could happen right now. Yeah, can't really think of anything worse. I mean, I even fantasized like if a bad thing happened to me, how would I overcome it? Like for instance, let's say I lost an arm, heaven forbid, right? Well, honestly, I would try to put a freaking robo arm on there because my 3D printer. I'd make prototypes like a taser and all. Point being is I think I'd try to overcome a few things. But if it's something I can't overcome and it's on a very grand scale, then I don't think that I think that would be the worst thing to happen. Okay, where do you picture yourself in 5 years from now? Same as here. Probably just still just gonna be existing. Hopefully, the marriage thing goes through. Like, gotta get the money to get that done. But a nice little marriage. Love you, Bushka. What else? Maybe I'm just doing the same existing I've always been. Like, I've always wanted to do gaming and YouTube and stuff like that. Um, since like the age of like I don't know, 16 or so. But I never had the equipment. Never had the tech level slash. And I'm always like 5 years behind on the trend. So point being is, I think I'd be doing similar to what I'm doing now, just trying to enjoy the pursuit of the happiness, just the journey. Hopefully it's a little bit crazier. Maybe we can get some cool projects done. That'd be nice. And yeah. Um, do you regret anything? If yes, what exactly? If not, hmm. Well, I guess there was something I was almost touching on earlier, where it's like, what's one of the more stupider things you've done so far? Um, my mom was a bit on the ill side. Okay, I'll just say it. She was mentally ill. Things happened, a lot of drama happened, some things were said occasionally, and I guess I regret how some of the situations played out. But I mean, being less than 20 for a good chunk of that time, you do it as best as you can. We're all just human beings. We all just try to handle it. I regret how extreme some of those situations got, because being a young buck, I'm not gonna exactly fight down from a challenge, but now I realize this wasn't something I needed to contend or contest against. It was something I needed to try, well, healing and helping. But I know that for sure. I tried helping as much as I could, but one time, for instance, I just got my new copy of a video game. I actually, yeah, I paid full price and got it. Was something I got from working, and then it got pawned off because, well, groceries, we'll say. Yeah. But that was like the day I got it. I walked out of my room, and then, yeah, some sacrifices need to be made. And then I flipped out about it because, I mean, that's something I just worked for, and I was really excited to have it gone. And I flipped out, and, well, honestly, me and my mom got physical a few times, and that sounds weird. Uh, Gave her a Charlie horse in the shoulder because I got mad because it's what a dumb teenager does. They act out and they punch a wall and they get freaked out, and I don't know. Point being is I gave my mom a bruise, and I regret that. I think I regret. It sounded like it might have been a little bit more damage than a bruise too. Like it seemed to have lasted a little bit longer than a bruise. So I guess I regret how some of the fights turned out. Yeah, I regret. No, oh Jesus! Like with all this dramas type stuff, it's almost making me tear up. But I regret not hanging out more with people at certain points in time, and I guess I regret, like I said, the dumb thing there is not finishing some of my schooling and such. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. All right, back to a light question. What's the first thing you do in the morning? Well, I've always been a super night owl. I missed a lot of school. I ended up, like I said, I used to stay up until 4, 6, 8, hell, 10 in the morning sometimes. Sleep schedule's been messed up for like 15 years. Um, so my morning per se is usually around 2 o'clock, noon. It's been like that for the longest time. I've tried, even currently, to fix the sleep cycle by pushing it back 10 minutes and such to fix it all up. It's just so easy to slip back into it. Why? I love the nightlife. I love the idea that we have these little lights on our streets, these little captured stars that light up the darkness. I love how beautiful the night sky is. I love nighttime. I love how we have this technology glowing to just illuminate the darkness. It seems pretty. My two favorite arts in the world, I've always said, was illumination and kinetic movement. I love the idea of ballerinas. I think it's a beautiful art, and I love illumination. And to that, I'd say technology, gaming. Is it not just movement and illumination? Anyway, so point being is always been a night owl. When I wake up, usually it revolves me getting up around noon. I usually crack myself open a soda pop, usually a Pepsi, um, and I just chill. I wait for my babushka to wake up a little bit later. She takes a little bit more sleep than I do, and then we usually set a goal for the day and try to act on it. Handful of times it's streaming. Sometimes it's like simple little requests, like, you know what? I want to go get a pineapple today. I'm gonna go to the side of the house just to go get a pineapple. I like pineapples. It's the only fruit that I know of that can acidly eat you back. Okay. Ah, what do you think about just before going to bed? Usually I'm like trying to think about 100 things I thought about that day. I'm one of those ADHD kids, like I said, so I have like 170 notes on my phone. I write down everything. I have notes from 2014 on there for some damn reason that I'd never just felt the need to delete. It's a little obsessive compulsive and like just too much really at this point. It is what it is. But anyways, I usually look over some of my notes or try to plan a last minute thing I want to type out for club activities or whatever be in, and just try to plan out tomorrow's day. I guess that's a lot. I just try to plan out some things, think about some things, I guess. Which is weird because the question says, "What are you thinking about just going to bed?" And yeah, before bed. Anyway, what it is, what it is. What's the highest point you ever been to? Was it a mountain, a city tower? Well, they're talking about like actual height. I've been on top of the CN Tower, and then you could pay like an extra like $10 to go like a special extra 100 feet up or something like that to like this extra little observing tower area, which is really small. But if you're gonna go up the tallest tower in Canada, you might as well go that extra 10 feet. The extra 100 feet. So I did. Cost $10. It was cool. Um, yeah, I have another story involving that, but I'm not going to leave that in this one. So let's go to the next question. Cientaria, where is there one thing in your life that you want to change right now, and if so, what is it? Um, Maybe this goes back to like the regret thing. Um, I kind of wish that I would have got some more things done. Like for instance, I wish I had my driver's license. I'm getting super old and I still have my license. But that being said, I was in a car accident, kind of a tiny bit afraid that I might hit somebody. But I don't actually have my license. And to which one of my people in the chat says they do. Yeah, I don't actually have a license. I know how to drive a car. I know all the signage pretty much. I've done like the online test where you do like 500 questions and it tries to get you up to 95 percentile and all that. I did 500 questions and I got something like 98. I can do the test. I just never went to go get it done, and I don't actually have a vehicle, so it's like I couldn't really test or learn how to actually drive full-fledgedly if because I don't have a vehicle. It's always been the way of my family. It's a tiny brick wall for poverty is if your parents don't own a car, then you probably don't know how to drive. But if they do own a car, then they probably will be willing to teach you. You know what I mean? Anyway, um, I wish I would have learned that a little bit earlier. I wish I would have committed to that. I wish that it says right now. What would you change right now? Um, I don't know. I hope for a lot of things, and I do try my hardest to get some of the things done. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really describe what I'd like to change right now. I guess maybe if I was able to somehow put my gears in my head a little bit better, faster spinning on getting some editing done would be nice. But I don't know. It is what it is. We all just go at our own speed and everything. I don't think there's anything to change. What are you proud of? Well, I have a small list of things that are like my personal achievements. Like I lit a snowman on fire. That does sound a little bit psychopathic. Long story short, a bit of lighter fluid and some paper. Anyway, uh, what am I proud of? I'm proud that my life has been my way and a bit more enjoyable than I've seen others. I feel like I am fortunate, but that's also kind of weird and odd. What am I proud about? Proud I survived some things. Proud that I have some things. I'm proud that I got people around me. I feel like I'm in a decent place, and I guess I'm happy about that. They say you shouldn't take too much. Like they say, pride's one of those sin things, but I don't really sin. I'm not getting into all that. But point being is I guess I'm just happy of what I got around me and what I am. I don't know. It is what it is. Sum up your life in one sentence. Okay, allow me to go to my Twitter bio for like 2 seconds. Currently, give me a second. I just gotta actually go to my bio. Oddball single-digit streamer trying to amass 1,007 fans so he can live his best life without while experiencing virtual worlds, building odd things, and chilling. So allow me to do that one more time just to get that good. Oddball single-digit streamer trying to amass 1,007 fans so he can live his best dream while experiencing virtual worlds, building odd things, and chilling. Yeah, I guess I'm trying to do this. Like that's what's is that my whole life in a sentence? I mean, I probably could write up another like spiel that's like 5 sentences really glued together with an ongoing sentence. Um, but I feel like that's a safe. Could say wash up. Had a lot of troubles. Just trying to do some funs, have some memes. But I mean, didn't really. That's just like pulling that one off the top of my head. I didn't really spice that one or dress it up nicely. It is what it is. You know, oddball. Oddball would be the word I'd like to go with. Or, yeah, what was it? Name one thing that annoys you the most. Glitchy singing. Wow, eh? What a stab, eh, Glitchy? That's gonna hit you in the no, I'm just kidding. The one thing that annoys me the most isn't Glitchy. Just jokes to Buddy in the chat, and they're all saying, yep, and freaking out about it. Hmm. Unfairness. That would be a decent one. I think if things were balanced out a good amount, humanity would have some better, like, they say, like, for instance, we make 8 billion, or sorry, we make something like 12 billion foods units, enough to feed that many people, but there's a billion people out of the 8 starving currently, and it just seems like if everybody was to share and if things were a little more balanced and fair, I think that would be best. I think they're just freaking out in the chat. I guess what annoys me the most is when I guess greed takes over humanity. I guess if that makes a sense. I'm not sure if that's exactly 100% because I mean this is 30 questions about what I feel, and there's thousands of questions of what you can really ask and blah blah blah. But I guess yeah, just it's hard to say. Annoys me the most. I hate when egomaniac, big tyrant company people, destroy, push over things of a lot of small people. And it's weird because like even saying that, like, well, what happens if you became one of those people? And what would you do? And you'd probably have to make choices. It's weird. It's gray area, but I guess unnecessary hurt. If we could fix that up a bit, that'd be nice. I don't know. What is your number one question to God? Yes, it's your interview, but if you had to address God one question, assuming he'd answer it, what would the question be? And it's like the book of answers where you ask any question. I can only literally think of the one joke from like, if how many poops did I have? And if I could take all those poops and make it into a brick wall, how long would that brick wall be? But that's just a skit from Robot Chicken back in the day. Um, you know what? This one always fascinated me. This one's a dumb one, but it's a throwaway, and I don't think it's even my question. Or like, how many corners are there in the entire world? Man-made things that, like, free edges go to a corner. There's like what, 8 or more in this room, kind of. Everything that you see has square edges on it. How many corners is there in all of the world? Some are being destroyed every second. Some are being created every second. There's a lot of corners, isn't there? Do you have secrets? I think everybody has secrets. I think, like, if yes, what says why? I imagine maybe it doesn't hurt people. Like that's what a lot of, but even then that usually causes more pain when the thing gets out inevitably. But it's hard to say. But I think every human has secrets. I think everybody tells little white lies. Just little, not too damaging things. I don't think those count. I don't think those are big secrets. Do I have secrets? Probably. Most assuredly. I imagine there's a few aspects in my life that I wouldn't want getting out per se. I don't know. That doesn't sound right. It's not like I'm some monster or anything. It's just, I feel like there's some stuff you just don't want to share about yourself, eh? Like the time you wet yourself, or no, you know what? I'm not even gonna tell the joke version. Like I'm just thinking of a nice light one, and even now I don't even want to like get that out. So I'm gonna keep that a secret. Um. Anyway, what makes you laugh? When people have fun. When something unexpectedly, that's a word, right? Unexpectedly happens and like it lights up a new weird little electron path in my brain that you wasn't expecting. Like I like all types of humor. I've had a lot of darker humor, like bad jokes and stuff, but like anything that throws a nice funny curveball or when other people seem to enjoy themselves, I just love to laugh and be happy with them, if that makes any sense. Like I don't know, this is a bad joke. I don't know if this one you ever heard of this. A man walks into a bar. Oh, no, there's no joke. He has alcoholism, dude. It's really destroying his home life. His family's falling apart. Unexpected. That might have light up a new little pathway because you might not have heard that joke. If you hear it twice, though, the joke's not as funny, kind of thing. I don't know. I like to see people enjoying themselves. Now, in this interview thing, it has one last question. It says, "Are you happy?" Yeah, I think I am for the most part. I think I know there's a lot of. It's like life is kind of like they say a happiness and a tragedy. I think a lot of life kind of gets that medium point where you're either happy or unhappy about things, but it's pretty neutral. I think you could be very happy, like, oh my god, I'm rolling in money. Everything's made out of gold, and life's amazing. It doesn't have to be monetary, but like everything could be perfect. And I think that person could still be sad. I think that person has the worst life can still find happy moments. So, am I happy? I'd say for the most part, yeah, I'm enjoying my life. It has a lot of issues too, but I'm enjoying it for the most part. Could be always a lot worse, right? I guess I hope to experience thousands of more cool things, more enjoyable things. That's all I guess you can wish for is more good times. And, yeah, I guess that's where I'd end that is just, try to have as many good times as you can with the people you love. Don't hurt anybody. Don't stand for when it get like. Don't spread. Don't see. Hurt. It feels like I'm just going on too much. Try to give back to people. Try to have knowledge and understanding. Um, if you can understand them from their point of view, try to pretend like you were them for a second. You can understand how people act. You can understand their problems. You can sympathize with them. There's two quotes I'd leave. I guess two here is there by the grace of God walk I, which I'm not religious, but it says you could have easily been that person. And another one is you're a blank piece of paper, and everybody you ever met basically drew on that paper to make you. Your parents, your people around you. Sometimes there's dark scratch marks on it. Sometimes it's a nice, lovely, softly drawn drawing. Point being is that understand people is probably one of the things I'd say. and yeah, just try to enjoy life as best you can. And with that, I think I'll done with this interview. I was almost gonna do like a 100 questions thing, but like God, nobody wants to be here for 2 hours. That being said, it was fun. I guess again, like the reason I did this is I always wanted to do video entertainment at a pinch. I want to do vlogging and stuff, but it's like not every day is amazing enough to um, be a new vlog type video. So I guess I just make this just 100 questions, like not 100, but 33 questions ish, interviewing yourself. Because I was talking with people the other day, and I was like, well, actually not the other day, but like an hour or two ago actually, and we are talking about like our hopes and dreams, and it was like, what do I, what's me? An oddball who likes experiencing fun things. And I guess that's it. And I felt like, you know what, impromptu little video thing. Buddy said it was sounded like a cool idea to fall asleep watching. Ouch. I'm Joel, your single digits oddball streamer, and I guess I'll catch you all later. Yeah, take care of yourself, love your people, have fun.